Hey folks, good morning. Before we get into it, someone on the Fabman forum had a question and let's help them and not keep them waiting. He asked yesterday, so it's about time to respond. This seems trivial, but maybe it's not. Metadata key. Oh, it's nested. I'm not sure if we support that. Do we have these running? Yes. Okay, but what do we do with metadata key? Do we just get this one? Oh, we just provide the key directly. It is the time for some bureaucracy, yes. So I think this should work. Maybe not. Maybe we need to improve this one. Let's just try it. So let's make a member. Let's take this guy. Give him some metadata. Let's take the metadata from his example. Which is not valid JSON. Awesome. So he has an array. Okay, why is this not? Yeah, okay, because of the quotes. It's just because he formatted it wrong. Okay. The problem is it's in an array. It's not going to make it easier for him to look this up. So he wants someone that has number 77, but it's... Okay, let's try this. Localhost 3. Let's do it at the Postgres value, at the Postgres level. No, let's try the naive version first. Let's go here. Members. Thank you for stealing my focus, Postgres. You totally know how to behave. Get members. We want this account, though it doesn't really matter. Metadata key is locker. Let's do the naive version first. If I say I want locker 0 number, or maybe let's do this one first. Locker 0, we expect it to be... No, that doesn't work. Let's expect it to be 77. And that's not going to work because 77 is not a... Oh, it is actually a string. Okay. We get nothing. Yeah. Because the query that gets executed is probably not what we expect. Because we say metadata arrow. I need to look up the... Let's do it here. No. So we have this one. Yeah, that's just one level deep. How do we do paths? We might need to do this. This is just a single... This is just a single key. So we can do... Let's experiment a bit. What's his member ID? Yeah, so this gives us the locker. I can't do anything like that because it doesn't take paths. So we would have to do this ourselves, I'm afraid. Field keys or array indices. Yeah, so we would have to say, I think it's this one, right? Yes. And we say locker 0. That gives us 1. Then we say number. Yeah, so that's what we want, basically. So we have to do some operator transformation. Good morning, Kit Carson. Yes, it's morning. So we would have to do that to allow complex fields. The question is, how would you query for any element? Oh, we can do this. Does JSON path return any item for a specified JSON value? We have this and we say, oh, so we have to do JSON paths. Yikes. So this would be where metadata at question mark brute dot locker star number. Then this is all in the What did I do wrong? No, I guess double equals. No results. This one gets some set select ID and metadata. So if you have multiple members, one of them is ours, I guess. Do we want to support JSON queries? Ugh. So we can tell him that this is, we can, like, simple answer here. Hey, Jan with weird. Unfortunately, what's the grammar issue here? Oh, is that? Okay. So if you had Hey Major, good morning. So what he can do, well, he can't even say check for anything that has a locker. Does that even work? Before I suggested. That might not even work, because I'm not sure if we do booleans. Where's our... Yeah, that works. Sorry, I can't offer you a better solution at the moment, but I'll keep this use case in mind. Future improvements. Okay. Okay. That's not very satisfying. And usually for things like that, I'm very quick. Like, this is just an API extension he would need. Like, he would just need an API extension that lets you specify, instead of metadata key, lets you specify metadata path. Then we just take a JSON path. That's it. Like, we could just implement it. It takes us an hour or two. The question is this actually useful? Because I don't know if anyone knows JSON path. Like, is this something we're building and have to maintain and test for one person, like, who can now copy paste the example I gave him, but who couldn't do it themselves because they don't know a JSON path? You know what I mean? Is it really worth it, that extra complexity? Also, I made a syntax mistake here. This shouldn't be here. Your example, not your query. So we try to have a simple API that's limited. We could support this, which is more powerful, but then do people get it right? And it's an extra complexity we have to maintain. Because if you look at the Postgres format, the JSON path and the comparison, basically the value is in here. This is nonsense. No one knows. Like, this part people can understand. Add this syntax and it's gibberish to almost everyone. At least that's my feeling. So we would have to insert the path here and the value here, or the comparison here. Or we just give you this full, like, just let you provide this one. I don't know what the implications of that are. Like, are they DDoS attacks using that? Because I don't know how slow, how arbitrarily slow you can make this to resolve. You know what I mean? I have no. I don't know all the implications of just allowing the person to add this to the query, and just fully specify this part of the query. Maybe it's fine, maybe it's not, but I can't judge it right now. So maybe we just go back and implement this on, like, next week or something. I don't want to go into this right now because I wanted to do something else. But I can imagine just adding this capability. But then again, who can like, if I didn't have the Postgres documentation, I'm not sure if I would have understood what to put in there. And do I want to document that? So that's what's going through my mind. Anyways, we answered. We'll see what he says. So let's continue where I actually wanted to continue. So yesterday we finished with this being the State of the Union. So the table is basically feature complete from my perspective. We wrap for new page. We wrap to next pages. We repeat the header. We merge the borders. We pull the last row to the next page if the footer would be alone on that page, so you never have just the footer on a page. That's like what I call an advanced feature. Like, that's very custom, but that's what I want. I don't want to have the last row here and then just the footer here because it looks weird and confusing. So I'm going to pull one row. That works for me. We have the footer rendering done. So next would be embedding a proper font so that this actually looks like a euro sign. And then image support. And then we go into rich text. And then we have Bureaucrat done. Then the next step would be to merge that into, or to use Bureaucrat as part of our REST service that I've written in Jai to offer a new endpoint that lets us generate the invoices. That means fetching the invoice data, using Bureaucrat to build the invoice, having authentication, which means porting Harpy Iron, the crypto library. So there's lots of things involved in that. But we can definitely finish Bureaucrat today. I have well, the rich text might be annoying, but I'm almost certain we can finish Bureaucrat today. And then we'll see how far we get towards deploying this actually as a service. That's the goal. So let's get started. And then, yeah, and also improving like the invoice. We want to have different information on the invoice going forward. We want to have like groupings of things that happened on the same day, printing the day of the charge itself. Lots of things that are related to this, but not necessarily like have nothing to do with Bureaucrat themselves. Bureaucrat itself. I don't think we need any additional features to switch from this ugly layout to a nice looking invoice. I think we have everything. First things first, let's just to make it slightly nicer on the eyes. Where's the border color? Can I has this in a decent format? Hello? Interesting. Normally I can jump to where this was defined, but for the border bottom color, it doesn't let me jump to where we specified this. Okay. Interesting. Because normally you can just click here and you jump to where the color was defined. And for the color, it doesn't let me do this. I guess that's a bug, but I don't know for sure. Anyways, we can go here if we need to. Why does the color picker not open? Brave, are you buggy? Are you buggy, Brave? /Chrome. I think you're buggy. Could that be what's happening? Ah, see, page refresh fixed it. Awesome. Is it now on the computer as well? Yes, so that was just random browser bugs. So I want to see this as I wonder in what color space are we actually? Let's just take this one. 0.89, 0.91. So where's our light color? Light border color. .89, 0.91. Oh, that's the alpha. 0.94. A dark border color is not used at all, right? Okay. Yeah, that looks subtle difference, but this now looks nicer. Okay, let's embed the font. So I went ahead and downloaded Open Sans. No, that's my font folder. That's not what I meant. I downloaded Open Sans. I don't think we can do the variable font in here. It doesn't seem like that would be awesome if we could embed this one. I don't think it supports this. libharu variable font. Doesn't see anything, whatever. It says what it needs. We have unique copies in following tables. I just assume that this means no. Also, since I can't specify the variable, the width, I can just say the font and the size. I just assume it doesn't support this. So we're just gonna take Open Sans, put it in the Bureaucrat repo, and just load the static fonts. So we are gonna say, where do we get the font? Yes. Open Sans regular is PDF load TTF from file. That's the one we want. We want the pdf.harudoc, and we want the current working directory. We want the path to the executable. I know someone who does this. I think Invaders does it right. Yeah. This is base path. This is base path. So we want tprint slash open sans regular. And what else do we need? Doesn't say here. That's not what we want. Load TTF font from file. What do you need? Embedding. Yes. Oh, and they don't support true. So we say PDF. You know what? Forget it. Too stupid. What does it return? We don't know. We have to look in the documentation. Otherwise null. It returns, okay. And I guess we return a character. Sucks a bit, but whatever. And this is gonna be a macro. And this is not load, but load. So we're gonna do this. We get document HaruDoc. We do tprint of font folder. That's why I make it a macro. So I basically get closure support in quotes. And here we say get error string. Lovely. Okay. So we get the error string. Let's get the error value is PDF get error detail. Okay, we want a bold version, or at least a semi-bold or something. What are we using right now? This one is font family blah, font weight 700, which seems to be bold. Okay, let's load the bold version. I'm not sure if it's called bold. It is bold. How bold is bold? Bold is pretty bold. Maybe we want semi-bold. That seems enough. Do we need anything else? For the title, maybe a light version. But let's stick with those two. So we say open sans regular. Bold text font is gonna be open sans semi-bold. Header font is bold text font. And that should be enough. File preview jump scares you. Boo! That one. It's maybe because you get less of the animation over the stream. I actually really like it. Like quick view is one of the really great innovations of, I think, macOS 10 it was originally. It's just good. I don't know what to say. Does Windows have something similar right now where I can just say, like, I'm here, say quick view, and I just keep looking at things like, because they've had that for, I don't know, more than 15 years, and it's pretty nice. Because this works for everything where you have a program that views it, basically. Like I can do this, well, I guess zip doesn't show you anything. Anything that has a preview attached, mostly. Like, see, root manual. And then you can even like look in the PDF in here, but I'm just with space, I'm gone again. It's not the same as a preview pane. This is something I can just with space make appear and disappear. And you're just in a folder. I'm like, is that the right thing? Yes, no. It's useful. Okay. And any program can register quick look handlers. So if you have your custom file format, image format, or whatever, you just register that, and you're responsible for rendering this. So it's extensible. Yeah, it's just nice. What shall I say? This is one of the 10,000 tiny usability things that macOS got right, and that they're now slowly undoing with every macOS release because they completely lost their way. But that's a different and sad story. Okay, let's see if that works. Path strip file name. That's, I assume, from import file utilities. Maybe? Nope. Maybe it's from string. Yay, where's get path of running executable? Maybe that's from system. Hey, see, got it right. What's the complaint about? tprint \0 data. I hate interacting with C. It's not, well, no, it's okay. While expanding, type mismatch, type wanted OS error code, type given you 64. Okay. That just worked. And now we have nice fonts. Kinda. Except that it still doesn't support UTF-8. But I said I wanted UTF-8. So we say use UTF encodings. So now we have bold, we have, yeah, this is starting to look nice. This one worries me though. This one worries me. Because I bet that this one has that. Yeah, well, it shows me umlauts, but let's just let's install that one, because then I can just, yeah, obviously that exists. Okay. Maybe we should get, so just here, maybe we should get additional details, no, in the example. Okay, but we didn't get an error, so see fonts and encodings. Yes, that's what I'm looking at. No, maybe not. See fonts and encodings. I guess this is no longer called fonts and encodings. Let me guess. This is the documentation being out of date. Wouldn't be the first time here. Wiki. Yeah. The whole thing that, like, the thing that worried me quite a bit was nothing in here mentions UTF-8. Nothing in the documentation. There is this use UTF encodings function. It's not documented. So that's why I'm a bit worried right now that there might be, like, that if we run into trouble with UTF, we just have to switch library. That would be a hassle. libharu UTF-8. Oh no, I have to do this? Seriously? Maybe we have to do this. We'll see if that works. That didn't do oh, I didn't run it. That didn't do nothing. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's not how, we're not that stupid. We're encoding properly. So supposedly, this is what you do. Oh, in get font, you have to provide the encoding. Okay. They make it hard. I mean, there's good reason. Yay! So, what part is necessary? If we do this, is this necessary? Or is this just someone flailing at this? Not necessary, so we're not going to do it. Nope, it's not a bug in macOS preview. Okay, so that's UTF-8 support. That's off the list. So next thing would be images. Oh, I rendered this as bold. That's stupid. We should do this in the footer. So we have decent page footers. We could render them in different sizes, but that's all minor details. I just want to get all the features in, and then we design a nice invoice. Yeah, now replace like Pyromaniac, replace Stack Overflow with ChatGPT, and you're where things are heading. Okay, so we're gonna just commit the whole OpenSense repo. Okay, good. Let's ignore all of these. They annoy me. I don't care about example. I don't care about star dot. These okay. Use custom. Okay. So like, don't get me wrong, libharo worked really well. We haven't hit an issue, a bug in libharo so far. It's just that the documentation is not quite up to speed. That's fine. We have the source code. Like, it's nothing. It's slightly annoying, but hey, I got this for free. I'm not going to be entitled and complain about, hey, you didn't write good documentation for the thing you give away for free. It's fine. It works. We can figure things out. It makes us slightly slower than we would be with great documentation, but like, this is fine. No real issues so far. So next step, I said images, right? I'm just procrastinating on the XML parsing. No, that's on purpose. I was just looking if we do that's just a test for like, this is intentional. This is because of this. But since people keep bringing it up, this is just a test to see. This was just testing right aligned wrapping. A good documentation for the Gmail. No, there will be no documentation. I will release this, but honestly, if I write documentation, it's just gonna be out of date really quickly. So I'd rather have source code that you can read and an example that's useful. Which is how I could have done things for this one as well. Like, I'm complaining about the documentation. If there was no documentation, I would just spend my time in the demo folder and it would be fine. It's just, if there is documentation and it's out of date, that's more annoying. So, oh yeah, that's, by the way, you say nice to see another country that uses comma for floats. That's gonna be an issue. Date formats and number formats, that's gonna be an issue because we don't have anything in Jai. I think I'm afraid we'd have to use lib whatever to do all the internationalization stuff, like localization stuff. Like, I know in which locale the user wants their invoice, but I don't know how to format things in that locale in Jai right now. That's another thing we need to solve before we can deploy this actually. Like, it doesn't matter for Bureaucrat, but it matters for me deploying this for Fabman. So next, fonts. No, you know what? Let's take a short breather and implement add HR. We're gonna ignore the margin. We're gonna use the padding for that. So this honestly will be moved to somewhere else because no one cares about this but me. Like, this will not live in Bureaucrat. Also, I don't want to add a dependency to an XML parser to Bureaucrat just because I need this. No one else cares. Maybe no one else cares about this module at all, but I'm surprised by how much certain modules I've written have been used. So who knows? So we want a horizontal line. That shouldn't be hard. So that's simply, we have the border function, right? Oh, we should take a color. Or do we take the text color for this? Let's just take a color, which means this doesn't compile anymore. We want light border color, maybe something thicker. No, actually, this is basically the same. Okay. So this is trivial, hopefully. We have a border function, set cell border, no render such and such. Render row, we say render row border. Does basically what we want. We just use this. So we just call render row border. And the border is gonna be size 1, color, and the start X. So okay, start X is just our position, not quite. Start X is page margins 3. Start Y is position.y plus, oh no, page margin 3 plus padding.x, position Y plus, no, minus padding.y. And is, oh, we take an end instead of a width. Interesting. Okay. And is, so let's just do this. I want the whole width minus the padding. I could get the net width and subtract the padding twice, or I can get the... Yeah, let's do that. It's not ideal, but whatever. Start Y. So same start. And then we say position dot X is page margins 3. Position dot Y. Oh, and this is also minus, by the way. Oh no, no minus. Okay. Position dot Y minus equals 2 times padding dot Y. So we leave out the size itself. Maybe we shouldn't. Okay, so an 8HR would now not do anything, so we're gonna do set padding PDF, and I want the padding of 0x padding and 10y padding, and then we're gonna change that to 0, 0 again. Can't wait to see how broken the PDF will be if you use Arabic instead of English. Yes, probably. Well, no, actually. Depends on if Open Sans contains all the Arabic glyphs. You mean right to left? Or what's the general issue you expect? Okay, so what did we change? We added an HR. It's here. It's not what I expected. I set a Y padding. Where do we have... So this comes after the rich text, before the to line. So this should have moved. Oh. Yeah, this is again a problem of the text moving upwards from the current position. So we render the HR at the current position, then we move the position down and we start a new text, but the text moves upwards. Text is the only thing that renders upwards from the current position because of the baseline issue. And so maybe we add a next line feature that you can just call. that does this one. Like a begin line, that seems... Then that's what you would call here. Well, not quite. You would say this and then set the font and then say begin text line. I think that makes things easier to understand. And we could do the same in the cells. We could use the same feature. And here we would, like, same thing. That gets rid of this one. Then we don't need current position here. Again, here we move after the thing and then we say begin text line. That's maybe a better API. Developer crafted by Fluent APIs are really entertaining the idea of having scope modifiers. Oh yeah, you can totally do that. It's super easy in Jai. You just pass in the code. Like I have that with the color API. I wrote an API like this. So you say with console color, give it a color, and then just insert code that's written with that console color. For this one, I don't care enough. No, you just pass in the code. You just say, I can show you this in the server. You just say with console color to standard error and you pass in right strings in this case. I have a better example actually in the test function. Yeah. So we just have a code and if you want to print with color, we print it with console color, otherwise we just insert the code here. So you can either call it or insert it directly. It's not an anonymous function. Code is literally code. Yeah, like you take the syntax tree of this and you either paste it in the macro at the right position or you paste it here. Like this is just metaprogramming, Jai metaprogramming. Doesn't need closures, doesn't need memory allocations at runtime, just works in this case. It's limited in certain ways, it's way more powerful than others. It's a different paradigm. It looks similar, but it has different implications. What about text line that does begin and prints the text? Yeah, I'd rather... add text line sounds like it would end the line afterwards. This is literally about move the cursor so that I can write text in the current font without clashing into the thing that lived above. That's the idea. You could have just a new line argument here, like that does this. If you want to make this like nicer or whatever. So here we're just literally going to do position.y minus equals get line height. That's all I want. It's not quite correct because we move a bit too much. It's a very subtle argument, but see, now you get the padding, and the rest still looks right. Oh, except something changed here. Oh, of course, yeah, because we added the HR. It was like, we had the different spacing before, but that's because we just added this HR. Why did we add this HR? That's a very good question. Because that's usually here if you have rich text above. So we should say if rich text header that's basically why this is here. Yeah, for some reason, I'm not hyped to go into AI projects. I'm probably the only person on Earth. I don't know. Let's give this a proper name and we add horizontal lines. We add, I don't care about this one actually. Okay. No, I see the appeal. It's just nothing I want to do right now. Like, I'm not excited by, like, every developer, not true, no, not every developer is wrong, but I've heard from quite a lot of developers who are now like using the ChatGPT AI API in their products to provide like AI capabilities, and it sounds useful. It's for some reason I can't say why. It's just it doesn't. I'm not excited to explore that for some reason. Like for Fabman, I thought about, hey, I have it in the back of my head. We could add AI support for a bunch of like we have all the data, your usage data about your lab. Feeding that into an AI and giving you suggestions like, hey, your laser cutter is overutilized in this periods or something might be useful. Where you say, what can I improve about my machine utilizations, etc., and just feeding in all the usage data from your past year into a language model or an AI model, and seeing what they can say about managing your lab better. That feels like if we were venture capital funded, we would have shipped this 3 months ago, I'm sure, because it's like the hypey thing to add. For some reason, it I don't know, doesn't feel like what I want to do. Yeah, I am middle. That's what I'm like. Fabman is the middleman software. The best use of ChatGPT is debugging. Really, I tried it. Like the kinds of bugs I usually hit, it's nothing where ChatGPT would help. but maybe I'm ignorant. Okay, let's do the next thing, which is images. So let's say I have this image. I have it as a blob, because that's how we're gonna get it. I have an image blob. How do I render that with libharu? Graphics. Colors, nope. Image, we have no, okay. How do I get an image? Probably document handling. I assume it's something you have to back, yes. Load PNG, JPEG, and RAW. What's RAW? I guess that's a bitmap. Yeah, this is a bitmap. This is a literal bitmap. So if we want to add anything where it doesn't support encoding, we would have to put it in RAW. Yikes. It seems like it supports PNG and JPEG. So our problem is we support more image formats in here, for example. So what do we do if the customer has uploaded their image as a GIF? And now we want to print it on the new invoice. Do we do an on-the-fly GIF to PNG conversion and hope that it works out? Okay, yeah, that's Neochroma. That's very different. That's like I'm in a new environment and lots of people have solved the thing. Like that's generally where like ChatGPT at all are useful. I'm in a new environment that's not new. That's just new to me, but lots of people have worked in this environment. Some Python script or whatever. Then it's useful. But then you're in like this is always in the toy project category for me, and then it's super useful. Like I used it to write my LLDB plugins to get just the scaffolding for an LLDB plugin because the LLDB plugin API is awfully documented, but it's public enough, I guess, that ChatGPT barfed out a skeleton that was good enough, and then working from there was super useful. But that's like I'm programming like a 50-line program or 100-line program. That's nice, but my day-to-day I spend in like 50,000 line programs or 80,000 line programs. I'm trying to find gnarly bugs in there. Like that's yes, we're gonna if you upload a GIF, an animated GIF as your logo, we're gonna render one invoice page per animation frame. So if you do that on an invoice, you just get 10 invoice pages. Everyone has a different animation frame of the GIF. And then you can like a thumb, you can have a thumb, what do you call that in English? In German, it's a Daumenkino. So it's a thumb cinema where you just flip through it to get the animation. How about that? Okay, I get a blob. I have a flip. Is it a flip book? I don't know. We have like every frame of an animation on a different page, and you just use your thumb to quickly view them in succession. Is it a flip book? Yeah, okay. So you can make an invoice flipbook. That's going to attract all the venture capital. Okay. We wanted to add a logo. Let's get this one, like this real one, for a second. What's the best way to get this without going nuts? I have the blob. How do I get the blob? Let's just do it the dumb way. Maybe we should pick something like, I'm sure Karim doesn't mind me using the Happy Lab logo for this, but I don't want to submit the Happy Lab logo to the Bureaucrat example project Git. What shall we use as our logo? Something that's like Creative Commons. PHP logo. We can use the Creative Commons logo. That's hopefully Creative Commons. I think that's meta. Let's use the Creative Commons logo. Some rights reserved. I want this one, yeah. Let's save that. Yeah, whatever. Let's save it on the desktop. Let's put it in Bureaucrat. Maybe we should do it like this, actually. And that means we need to change our git ignore to example. Okay. We use a TTF. Proper cell computation is done. Footer stuff is done. Our to-do list is empty. Awesome. So logo data is read entire file. CC logo large PNG. Okay. Now we want to fit the logo in a box. Maybe we have to compute that ourselves. Maybe it offers that support. We'll see. So we need to embed it. That's on the document. We said load PNG image from memory. Okay. So we say logo is PDF load PNG image from memory, and we give you the PDF Haru doc, logo data logo data count. Oh yeah, this one is now .module. This is in file, I'm almost certain. CC log your work is now CC or nope. But I haven't added the license to this. It's not even public right now. What is it complaining about? Redeclaration of logo. Yes. So we get an HPDF image. And then somewhere on the graphics, what do we have? We can get size and width. I don't care about any of these. Oh, we can do transparency. Well, I hope it supports transparent PNGs. How do I render a damn image? Draw image. Okay, as expected, we have to do the cropping ourselves. So, I'm gonna do fit. Is it contain? I think contain. That's what they call it in CSS land. So we want to add that image here at the position where we're at. No. Do we want to just position this one? Huh. Then we do set position PDF 0 page dimensions dot y. No, not 0. Dot x minus image dimensions. No, not true. Logo width. Well. Ha. What I want to do, so what I'm thinking about right now is we want to put that logo in the top right corner, okay? I want Bureaucrat to do the annoying computations. I want to say it if I say I want it right aligned and contain it in that box. With contain, I mean shrink it so that neither the width nor the height exceeds the given width or height, but keep the aspect ratio, okay? So we can use our existing set. So text alignment needs to change its name, obviously. I want to say let's right align this. So I don't even need to set the position. I say set text alignment right, and I want to add that image contained in that box. I think that's what I want. it could be less high than what we specified because of the contain rules. So maybe I want to get back the actual width and height as it was used. Because maybe that's relevant for my, yeah. Like this. And then I can say here, add text, the max width is page dimensions x minus rendered. I like this idea. I'm not sure how fun it is to implement. And here we do okay. So set text alignment needs to change to set alignment. Whoops. And now this one is going to be fun to implement. With float, height float, and we're gonna have stupid ones like what's the default? I actually only care about contain, but stretch is so easy. Okay, let's do stretch first. Let's always do stretch for now. So what we are calling here is draw image. We need to be in page description. Okay, so this just is a single one. Okay, so the easiest way to do this lower left point, okay, would be to say PDF page draw image. So we get pages, get current page, draw image, harudoc, no, sorry, wrong. Page image position x position.y minus height width height, like ignoring pretty much everything. Oh, and we need to adjust y minus equals height. Position.x plus equals width. So this is the naive version. Why are you... You should render this one. No, compile this one, I mean. Get image dimensions. Why did I want that? I don't even need this. Well, no, I don't need this for my computations right now. Let's not do things we don't care about. Oh, and this one now needs to return. So normal control plus return value, return with height. We need libpng. Good to know. Thanks for telling me. So example now needs to say libpng system library libpng. Oh, we just had a, see this one? An expression in copy expression to global data. I guess no one ever did this so far. Tests fails sign library.jai. Yep, that barfs. Okay, that's a repro. Okay. We barf, so I guess this one. Oh, maybe read entire file, return success first. Let me check. No, then we would have type errors with logo data. Wait a second. Oh, my bad. Where did you compile this one? Labyrinth found libpng. Oh, I don't have libpng. It is libpng, no? Does it say anything about the library requirements anywhere? Let's see, libharu, readme, png, png lib. So maybe libpng is the wrong word, wrong version. Maybe it is supposed to be png lib. I don't have that. brew search png lib. Also, nope. Brew x64. glib. Core application library. That's not what I wanted. Is it not? I thought this was libpng. Maybe the documentation is wrong. Yeah, libpng. So I assume that's what they expect when they say png-lib. But maybe I'm wrong. They say png-lib. Yeah, so it is libpng, not png-lib. Yeah, so the documentation is, let's say it has mixed quality. They even say libpng license. Then they say png-lib here, whatever. Let's not rant too much about this. Install libpng. And that means while this runs, we can go here and say libpng, as I did initially. And of course, brew has to do an auto update that takes longer than the actual install. Library not found, libpng. libpng exists. Is this a problem with my LD path? Probably. Let me think, in which project did I have simulations and fix them? I think that's what I need. Jai example.jai. That should be enough. Yep. So I somehow need to have this in my I thought I have it in there. It is in there. Just has no effect. Use our local homebrew lib. That's exactly what we used right now, right? Use a local homebrew lib. So if I do this, it works. If I have it in my zish, it doesn't. Or does it work here? Yeah, library not found. Oh, it says library not found here as well. So it didn't work. Sorry, I just don't see this error properly. it's not added to the library paths. Okay, let's do it by hand. Let's not. Is it commonly propagated? I can never remember this. Is it options or build options? Copy commonly propagated fields. And it's get build options, options, X output executable name is example options. Is there not a there is not. Additional link arguments. Okay. If OS is macOS, what else do we need? Seems like we just linked. Oops. Oh, and examples should also, now that we have a base path, we should use that here. Actually, let's do tprint blah blah actually 0, and then we can just say here instead of 2C string, so minor optimization. Yeah, this one needs to compile first now. Could open file, no such file directory. That's true. Whoops, I added a plus somewhere. Did I fat finger this? I thought it was plus. This has changed so often. Okay. We have a Creative Commons in the top left corner and it's squished. That's what I expected. And invoice is now on the right side because I changed the alignment to right. So we're gonna fix that. So we want the logo right, but then we want this one left. Yeah, now they're over each other. So we're getting somewhere. Now I want this to not be squished. Let's make it more obvious that this is squished by, like this almost fits the dimensions of the logo. So let's say you want it in 150. That makes the squishing more obvious. Should make the squishing more obvious. Yes. Okay. We don't want squishing though. We said we wanted it to contain. So let's implement that. Okay, if resize mode is case contain, let's just, I'm not going to implement anything else. If we want to contain, we get real width is, and we saw the function somewhere here on the image. Size returns it's an HDF point. Okay. What do you think is more performant? Width and height separately? Probably not. We'll see how it's implemented. What does this one do? Yes, I totally wanted to see this in my file browser. Thank you, Wim. Size. Okay, yeah, let's do the size. What is the thing they return? Point. That's an X and Y. That's compatible with what we do. So we're going to be messy and say cast vector 2 PDF image get size. What? There's a get size too? Oh, that. Let's use that one. Get size 2, and we give it the image and the pointer to image dimensions. Okay. If image dimensions x is greater than width, no, we need to find the aspect ratio, the bigger aspect ratio. It's not enough to see if this one is bigger. So width aspect ratio is image dimensions.x divided by width. Height aspect is image dimensions y height. I've never done this, but it doesn't seem hard. So we get both aspect ratios. The smaller one we pick if with okay, so this is the difference between contain and fit. Fit would stretch it. We just want to contain it, or do we want to stretch it? No, let's just contain. So we have to find the bigger of those aspect ratios. Let's call it factor, not aspect ratio. If the width factor is bigger, that means x is proportionately, the real width is proportionally higher than what we wanted. So if width factor greater height factor, if the width factor is greater than 0, then we need to do something. Not greater than 0, greater than 1. Then it's bigger than we want, so we need to resize it. So we say rendered dimensions x divided equal to width factor. Is that correct? We can flip it. No, but this is fine. But we could replace this one with a multiplication. Whatever nowadays. I think. Is that right? Should we shrink both proportionately? Let's say the real dimensions are 200. So I want to render, I have a 200, 200, no, I have a 100, 100 box, and I want to render a 200, 100 image in it. That should be shrink to 150. Okay. So this is going to be 2, this is going to be 1. So this one is bigger, it's greater than 1, so we divide, and we say random dimensions divided by 2, yes. That seems right. This one uses H factor. So we can say just to reduce the amount of duplication we have. If factor is, now it's not a factor anymore because we divide by it. Yay, naming. Okay, and here we return rendered dimensions actually. Okay, so that's part 1 of the fix. So that should render it in the right aspect ratio, if I know my math, and it does not. Now I'm sad. Oh, yeah, because I don't use rendered dimensions. Okay, that's a bit small. I assume this is in a different, the size is in, let me look. I assume it's the difference between point and coordinates or something. We had this somewhere, what was it, 1,000 or something? Yes. Let's see if that's the problem. It doesn't say, of course. It returns the height of the image. It doesn't say anything about, like, none of these API documentation things say anything about units. It's a bit frustrating. But whatever. So we have to say image dimensions. Oh. And wait a second. So you give me these. Oh, they just cast it to real. Awesome. And they cast it back to an integer to width. Okay, I'm glad we didn't use get width, get height, because this is like the least efficient version to do this. Because they get both components. So this is where stacking abstractions is kind of bad. So they do this where they get both from a dictionary and then always discard one. They could just get one. Okay, so this is some number that's actually an integer that's then cast to a real. What's the O class number? We don't know what this one returns. It's a void pointer, and they cast a void pointer. So it is a real number. Let's just log what it says, shall we? And then see where I went off the rails. Okay, so we resized with image dimensions x, image dimensions y, to rendered dimensions x, rendered dimensions y, to fit inside width, height factor was, that's not a factor. Okay, let's see where I messed this up. I messed up the typing. That's the first one. Resized 1,241 to 94. What? That's no good. The width ratio is 10. To fit 1,000 into 100, 10 makes sense, but 1,000 divided by 10, is it a copy pasta error? No. Oh, yeah, it should be image dimensions x divided by ratio, and image dimensions dot y divided by ratio. So I was dividing these by the factor instead of these. Stupid. So we resize this to 123 to fit inside 150. That sounds very reasonable. And now we get a properly resized logo. Finally. Okay. That's number one. Now we need to position it. If I said I wanted it right aligned, then we should right align the image. So we're gonna say and now we're almost at a place where we can put images into tables, but I don't need this, so I'm not gonna implement it. But if alignment is so if alignment is left, then we do nothing. Center, right. If it's center, we say top left. Actually, y does never change, so start axis position.x. That's all we need. And here we say start x. If it's center, we want to add the slack, which means get page, net page width, page I guess we want to add the image at the current position. Okay, first, let's do the page break. Now that we know actually how big the thing is, we can see if we can fit it. If, and this is somewhere, where do we do the page break? Okay. So we should probably this becomes begin text line, which I like. This condition needs to be somewhere here. Can fit height on current, can't fit them. Because there might be more stuff coming that affects this. Okay. And then we say return oh, it's different. Yeah, whatever. Let's do this. So this becomes if can't fit height on current page, document 0. Okay. I need to respond to a message for a second. Okay. Okay, now we can use this one here and can say if can't fit height on current page, dimensions y. Oh, and this needs to be adjusted. This needs to be here. And this needs to be here. So if we can't fit it, we're gonna say, similar to what we do here, we end text, or we don't need to end text, we just say add page. And that's it. Maybe we need to update this one. And we could say page is add page and wrap this into one by returning the page from add page, which we maybe even do already. Nope. Okay. So if we can't fit it, we say add page. So we wrap. Good. Then we do these shenanigans, and if we want it centered in the remaining size, that means I don't care about net page width, I care about the end. Index is PDF page get width page minus page margins 1. So we say start x plus equals end x minus start x minus rendered dimensions.x divided by 2. Okay, and right aligned, we just say end x is this, and we say start x is end x minus render dimensions x. Makes sense? I think it makes sense. If complete, by the way. No, not complete. Because we use the alignment class from the library, which has things we don't care about. Okay. And then here we do start x, position x is start x plus rendered dimensions dot x, and this changes to rendered dimensions dot y. Okay, let's see if that works for our logo, and then we need to test more stuff. If it works. That worked. Ta-da! Nice. Why is there so much slack here? So we should do one more thing. If position.x plus dimensions, so n, we need end x anyways, so let's move it here. So we do wrapping. Then we need to wrap. We say position.y plus equals minus equals we don't know how much we need to wrap. Okay, what I'm trying to do, let's do a stupid example. We have somewhere this add image. Let me show you what I want. We'll add this once as a 200 contain. Then we render it as a 100 contain. Then we render it as a 300 contain. Let's get rid of this one. Hey, I just said I want more images. What's your problem? This should be left aligned. Should contain. You should move the X position. Oh, there we are. So right now we're moving from this to this. Not sure if that's what I want. What do I expect for images? If I add an image, should they be underneath each other? Like, do we not put more images in the same line? But we do that for text. So it's a bit inconsistent. And the question is, do we wrap? Yeah. Then the next row based on maxed height of the first row. That assumes that we know, like, if you put this one here and then you move here and move the position down and render one here, how do I know how much I need to wrap? Wrap. I don't know. I don't quite know what I want from this because I don't have the use case. So maybe I shouldn't. I shouldn't do anything until I have the use case. Because whatever I can come up with might not be useful. This is like, I don't want to design the API in a void. I have the use case right now that I want one right aligned image. That changes as soon as we do the rich text nonsense. But for now, I just have the use case of I want one right aligned image and I want to resize it to fit in a certain box. And that's it. Everything else, sorry, I can come up with is fiction. So I'm just not going to implement any wrapping whatsoever right now. I'm just going to say after the image, we move to the start. Of the line for now. And that's just a to-do. Because I know that if I change this, it's gonna not be what I want. So now we just do it one after the other. And then you can do right align center, like we could do center here just as a test. See if I made this, if I did this correctly. Yeah, seems to work. Yeah, that's my actual use case right now. One image per row and you can align it, and that's it. I think that's fine, right? Like I'm literally just building this for my use case. I'm not trying to win the PDF generation API contest. Okay. This looks pretty fine. I'm a bit surprised about this huge thing. Why do we have that? We say new line here. And we change the position to say current position. Let's get the lower one, or page dimensions. Oh, by the way, something fancy we do with this one. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it works. Oops. Die. Hello? Oh god, I just caused the disk to spin up. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work. Awesome. Well done, Raphael. Why does this not work? Because it wraps to the start instead of fishy. It wraps to where it like it continues and then wraps to where it should have wrapped. Oh, I know what that is. That's me adding arguments. That's how this should look. So we wrap around the logo. We don't go into the logo. Nice. Y is up, unfortunately. Because that's how the API behaved. That's how the underlying underlying API behaves, and I was too lazy to have an external view that's different from that. I should have done it. It annoys me, but well. Yeah, and one thing you can see now, of course, this looks misaligned because it looks like this should be on the baseline of this one, or the text should start at the top of this one. It does neither right now. We could do this by changing our function that's called begin text line to do what we do for the cell. Render here, render column, by doing this magic. Then it would be closer. Not sure if I want that though. Let's see what it looks like. If we just literally move down by the ascenders. Oh, and we used the wrong. Give me a second. We might have a mistake here that we don't see because we don't change the font inside the cells, but this is wrong. Add table cell, no. Render row. Here we say font size, this should be column.font size. Whoops. Okay, now they look not quite on a line. But closer. Let's make the logo a bit bigger. And we could use a square logo so that's easier to see. Weird choices wise up. Yes. Well, PDF made weird choices. You can expect most of this to have some form of legacy reason that we just don't know. And it is like, it's the classic mathematical orientation, right? 0 is bottom left. So if you think about that, maybe this like, I don't know. I really don't know. This is something we should look up maybe. But if the origin of PostScript maybe was with like a graphical background, maybe that's why it is there. I don't know. Document goes down. Yeah, but I'm not saying that PostScript thought about documents first and foremost. I'm not certain if that was the origin of PostScript. I really don't know the origin of PostScript. Okay, but this looks fine, except for this big gap that I don't know why. I don't know why it's happening. Oh, because I do begin text line here, and we should change the font before that. Why do I say subtitle font here, by the way? What's the subtitle font even supposed to be? Oh, and we do begin text line multiple times. That's why. That's where all the spacing is coming from. So this would be bold text font. And then we do just text font. Just undo. I could keep this open, like preview refreshes anyways. For some reason I always close it. Okay, yeah, now this makes more sense. Now we have some padding here. There should be something up here, which there isn't. And then we have the 2 with the fat 2 now, which is how it was before. We have this stuff. This looks like, if you compare, ignore the rich text field, but apart from that, this is basically our current invoice. Title font seems to be semi-bold, and it seems to be slightly larger. We have font size of 30 versus a font size of where is it? Font. It's just okay. What's your font size? What's the default font size? 16. So it's almost twice as big, and for us we say it's only a bit bigger. So we could say it's 26. It's almost twice as big. And now it's semi-bold. And I messed this up because text font is not title font. Bold text font is now font, and text font is the other one. Okay. Was it lots of text? 2 description. Yeah, let's get rid of the lots of text. We now know that the wrapping is fine. Invoice. This is like, it's a different font, of course. We use Open Sans, and this is the Apple system font, so it's probably Helvetica Neue. I don't know. I think PostScript was output announcement. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Hawks. So that's maybe why the coordinates were bottom left. Doesn't matter. Whatever, we deal with it. So if you ignore the rich text, we're there. We can render logos. We picked the black and white logo, unfortunately, so it looks like we don't have color, but we have color. And we have this one. Like, we have this artificial line breaks in here just to make that I added just to stress test wrapping and the row continuation, etc. Apart from that, it pretty much looks like and some artistic changes, like I shortened these lines, which I like, and made this one contiguous. But feature-wise, we're here, I think. Is there any incomplete left in the module? Add image, yes. We implemented it somewhere else. I guess after render text, yes. So another mode that you might want to have is fit, where you take smaller images and blow them up, but I'm not going to do that. I was like, whoopsie, what's with the page? But this is fine. This is just because this is a continuous view. I thought we messed up the page footers, but this is just preview. Okay, good. Apart from, I want to change the invoice layout, but feature-wise, we're there. I think this is the end of Bureaucrat. Okay, whatever, install that one. Or it's the beginning of Bureaucrat, however you want to see it. Add support. Images. What else did we do? I think it was mostly that. And a minor fix for columns. Oh yeah. You know what? Let's split this. Let's be nice. Okay, that's number one. Number two is this one. And this is add image support, and this is where we move everything. Okay. I think this is the time where I have to do rich text nonsense. We should remove this from here. It doesn't really belong here. We can move it to the example. Is there any other incomplete left? Yeah, this is our edge case I don't care about. We respect, yeah, that's, I don't care about. This is, I don't care about. Okay, no, we're good. Shall we release this like without any documentation? Whatever. Let's put it out there. Maybe someone can make use of it. New repository. Maybe this should be a Fabman thing. I don't know. whatever. Did I write it correct? Bureaucrat? I think I can type it now. What's our description? It's a that's about it, right? We don't add a license because we already have something, and then this creates a commit and everything's a pain. Git remote add origin blah git push origin master. Okay, here we are, and there is support for adding a license. If you say add file, create new file, then if you name it license, yeah, then you get this magic. That's how it worked. Whatever, what do you pick nowadays? Apache? Yeah, seems useful, right? Or do you use BSD? MIT? Okay. Have fun. Okay, so this is where you can find this, if anyone cares. Good. I think it's time for a lunch break. Well, there's kids gonna appear a bit later. Maybe we have about half an hour, a bit more, before actual lunch break. So we could try to dive into parsing the rich text. So let's do this here. Where's our rich text header? Okay. Let's actually take the rich text. Well, this is going to contain images, and we don't load images right now. Let's go here. Let's look at the data that gets transferred. Where's the invoice? So this is what the actual rich text looks like. We're gonna ignore the Twitch attachment stuff. We don't have anything. We don't have bullet points, etc. Cancel invoice, create invoice, additional text. We want bullets. And lists. we want bullets, and okay, this is basically what I really care about. And how about link to make things hard? Yeah, I know I need to take that call. Yeah, I think okay, I'm gonna take my break here because I need to take that call. So we're gonna do the rich text stuff after lunch. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna stop here, and we want this to work after lunch. We'll see. Thanks for coming by, guys. See you next time. Bye.